Hello and welcome to this week's energy forecast. My name is Laura, and if you are new here, welcome. This energy forecast is a high level perspective of what this week may entail for you. If you're looking for more specific guidance, that's where one-on-one sessions come into play, which is available through my website. And we can dig a little deeper into more specific things that are impacting you in your life. So, like I said in the last energy forecast, if you missed it, that's all right. I'm going to do a little recap here about 2022 being this massive opportunity for transformation for us. So, what does transformation entail? It entails inner work. Which translates to outer healing in our relationships, in our work, in our feelings of purpose. And so with transformations, there is a need first for illumination. Because if you aren't clear on what needs to shift, then how are you ever really going to change anything? So this week you will probably be feeling this illumination of the things you've had enough of. Maybe you can't hold back your anger or your annoyance or frustration or agony anymore. Let the light of your presence simply shine upon those areas instead of the habitual pattern of needing to do something now about it. I can't stand this person, so I have to leave right now. Something I like to remind myself of and clients of is that energy attracts like energy. So just because you move away from a relationship or a job, whatever it is you feel like leaving, doesn't mean the energy is going to shift. You're actually going to be experiencing the same unfolding, probably a little bit more intensely, just in a different area. That's not to say you can't leave a situation if it isn't healthy for you to be in. Just understand there's nothing wrong that you're doing when you see patterns show themselves in so many different ways. It is simply for you to bring the light of your awareness upon so that you can start to understand it more fully and eventually start to shift it. So illumination this week, think about it. When you turn lights on when it's dark, it initially can be a little bit startling, a little uncomfortable, a bit overwhelming. I know for me in my healing journey, when I've realized something that doesn't fit me or that I want to shift, it's like I get into this like hyper focused need to fix this and change this now. So notice when the energy kind of comes all up at once, like when you're in rage, right? And it all comes up. We really want to be moving from a more grounded place where that really bundled up energy is actually spread throughout your entire body, not in this one conversation. When we act from a settled place, we can hear better, we're heard better, and overall, you are more receptive to the cues of your own body and of the person or people or animals you're interacting with. Part of illumination that is often not talked about, but quite important, is how uncomfortable it is, because really what's being illuminated is something in you, something that you could be considering wrong. But I'm going to swipe that off the table for you, because illumination isn't for making yourself or others wrong. It is simply to show you areas where you have space to adjust and improve, not to be a better you, but to simply enhance your everyday life. So I'll share a little story with you. My personal life, I have had the tendency of revving pretty high, of constantly looking for someone, something to take care of, to be fixing about myself, to try to be fixing about another person. And just, I don't know, the past couple of months or so, really shifting away from that, letting that peel away and rediscovering who I am at my core outside of my trauma, outside of my pain, outside of my PTSD. I am actually a very centered, gentle, calm, and strong being. I noticed just in this past week how little I really feel like fretting about things, how my past history shaped me into who I was, and I needed those tendencies of being hyperactive and anxious and trying to manage myself and others. That was a survival tactic. And now moving away from that, realizing how fortunate I am, how blessed I am, how all this inner work that I've done has really brought me not to a new destination, but more deeply inside myself. And the deeper part inside myself is calm and compassionate and clear and grounded. And I feel really safe and really settled. So even just this morning, right? It's Monday. It's like, let's gear up. And my initial response was, Laura, this is, I was so aware of that. I felt like I needed to do something. And I was like, no, Laura, you've created a life where you don't have to jump in the car and run off to a meeting. You don't have to anything, really. So when you illuminate something, it's the initial, okay, I'm illuminating this, now what? Which again, we can get deeper into in one-to-one sessions, because as an individual, you're experiencing things so differently, and your unique package and life and all that entails is something we can dive deeper into together. But I'll say generally, illumination is like, okay, these are all the bits and pieces. Where do I begin? Remembering that life will bring you opportunities to practice, to react differently to whatever given situation is most prominent in your mind, in your body, in your feelings. So don't worry too much about where do I begin? What do I work with? Look right now. What is being illuminated for you? What are you fucking sick of? What are you at your wits' end about? What are you up to here with? That is what's being illuminated for you. That is the thing to start to look at a little bit more closely, seeing not so much how do I change this, but instead, how is this impacting my life? How is this positively impacting my life? How is this negatively impacting my life? And if you can, take it a step further and ask yourself, and how do I want this to be different? Or how could I go about this differently? But if that's too far, oftentimes there is a strong belief that is driving these behaviors that you don't love so much. And so we need to get down to the belief. What are you believing about yourself, about love, about life, that is causing you to respond in this way? And therefore you look at your life and what's manifested and you go, oh, yep, see, evidence of what I feel. But understand that what you feel, rather what you believe, can change, and the outside world will change as well. And illumination usually comes in an uncomfortable way. For example, my boyfriend before my fiance, he helped me illuminate what I never would put up with again. Someone calling me names, someone being dismissive or unkind, or there's a million things. I don't want to rag on anyone here, but that helped clarify for me, you know what I do want? I want someone that respects me. I want someone that hears me. I want someone willing to listen to me. But before I went from this boyfriend to my now fiance, I had to come to me. I had to say, I am worth respecting. I am worth being heard. I like what I have to say. I like how I think. I like having these conversations. I like, so on and so forth. So when I witnessed what I didn't like and allowed myself to shine the light on that, to illuminate that issue in my life, and I really looked at it and went, yeah, I'm not all that happy anymore. And I understand why I clung on to him and what that served for me. And now I know more than ever, I want different things than what this relationship is offering me. So in order to call in those different things, who do I have to be? How do I have to carry myself? How do I have to treat myself to start to adjust, to recalibrate to who I am, to then call in the partner, the lover, the friend, the job, whatever it may be, that really matches me? And now that I think about it, thank you so much. As this is an opportunity for me to illuminate stuff within me. In that old relationship, that crumbling down was the beginning of the rebuilding of who I am today, of reach your happy. I wasn't doing any of this stuff when I was with this person. And from that shift away from him back into myself, I discovered I want to be helping people. I want to do it on my own schedule. I don't like being told what to do. I don't want a boss. Interesting. Okay. What could I do? Interesting. And just kind of planting seeds, never having done Reiki myself. I received it, never even hearing about a life coach until I signed up and classes started a week later. It's like, I had to spend the time to illuminate those things that weren't working, to then get clear on what I did want, even if I didn't know the pathway to it. That's the thing. Don't get caught up in how do I get there. How is not your job. What you want is your job. So while I was still with that partner, I wrote a list of what I want for me in a relationship. Not who I wanted this man to be, what kind of money he needed to make. Nothing about that partner, that new person that I didn't even know was coming into fruition. I decided, what did I want for me in a relationship? I wanted companionship. I wanted respect. I wanted a loving bond. I wanted to feel so loving towards one another that we both knew that we were free to go off with another, or to change jobs, or shave our head, or I love you so much, I want you to be free. That's the kind of relationship I was seeking. I said, get along with my family, similar interests like exercising and nature. I didn't need this person to be me, but I needed to get clear on what I wanted from me. And I know for myself that was really hard to ask. What do I want? What do I want? And it's so easy, okay? So easy to get caught up in what you don't want. When you're in a shitty situation, how hard is it to get out of your own way, out of your own mind, and stop thinking about how much you hate this situation? It's really hard. So I'm not going to tell you to stop thinking, because that's impossible. Instead, I'm going to ask you to illuminate what's not working, to feel your way through that, allowing yourself to fully feel that. Like, I felt anger, I felt despair, I felt frustration. How did I put up with that? What the fuck was I doing, right? I needed myself to feel that. And then one day I woke up and I said, you know what? I want to get clear on what I want, because I'm fucking sick of serving others, of not putting myself first, of not even recognizing my own needs. So I'm going to write what I do want, not with like, I don't want someone that's not respecting me. No, I want respect, period. And as I would read this list, I'd be like, all right, yeah, I do want that companionship. Yeah. Again, no man in mind, just this list. Put the list down. 2 years later, one day I wake up and I'm like, I gotta go to the gym. It's been a while, I wanna get back to the gym. I walk in the gym and who do I walk into? My now fiance. we did have a past history, so it's not like, wow, fireworks and whatever. I've always loved him and he's loved me, so it was bound to happen at some point, I suppose. I mean, all the things that could have come between us that wouldn't have made this work are unlimited potentials, but it just so happened that I continued to focus on that list of what I wanted. Even me going to the gym, that's saying, I respect me so much, I love me so much, I'm gonna go exercise because it makes me feel better, it makes me feel more confident, it makes me feel grounded and clear. And then voila, there he was. So when you focus on what you do want, your energy starts to shift. You start to call in different experiences that match who you are. And that, I mean, thinking about, again, what I was doing with this other partner in terms of my work and what I am doing now and who my partner is, it's like I am living and breathing what I want. I wake up on Monday and my schedule doesn't open till 11:30 and I wake up at 7. It's not like I wake up at 10 and I'm like, oh, no, I wake up early. I like those hours to myself to just chill out, move around, go for a walk, enjoy my coffee, have some breakfast, talk to my family, whatever the fuck I want. And then I begin my day and then I show up here. I created this life, choice after choice after choice, but we all have our own blind spots. I needed a lot of help. Even being a Reiki practitioner, I still get Reiki. I get craniosacral. I get acupuncture. I do all these different modalities, whatever it is I feel most called to, and that's my general advice. Go where you feel called, not what's necessarily easy or what you know already. Go where the string's pulling you. But yeah, so I do those things. I don't know where I was going with that. Well, anyways, I get that support for myself because I know I have my own blind spots. And I know that who I feel called to has the exact answers for me right now. So wherever you feel called, if you need support where you are, go towards the support. The way you shift out of the state you're in is getting a fresh perspective. And that's what I believe I offer. But if I'm not your cup of tea, there are so many service providers in so many different fields that can be of assistance to you. So know if you're repeating a cycle over and you're like, what the fuck is my problem? Maybe you need an outsider's perspective. Maybe you need some inner work to be done. I say for you, but as you come to session with me, yes, we work together, but ultimately it's up to you to take the input that I have and go forth in your life and make different choices. So illumination is a little bit surprising at first, but in time, speaking from experience, you will find that every time I illuminate something, it shows me a shadow side or like something I was blind to that now I'm not blind to, so now I have the power to shift. That's what it's all about, folks. I have the power to shift things in my experience. I do not have to play a role that I've always played. I can shift away. I can shed layers of myself and become more of who I truly am. And I will tell you, there is something there's not even words. There's something so incredibly empowering and divine about illuminating areas of your life, working through them, getting to a new place and realizing there's just more and more and more. You're never done. There's always more that you're going to be working through. So take your time with it. Please don't rush through this illumination. Let's shine the light on everything. It's just overwhelming. There's no need. We're going to be working through our many layers for what I see it as all of eternity. So there's no rush. Be gentle, be patient, but be deliberate. You owe it to yourself. You deserve to look at these areas that are hindering you, that feel so uncomfortable, and get a fresh perspective so you can start to change yourself and then your life, and also have a ripple effect in others' lives. So Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's energy forecast. I so appreciate you coming here. Thank you for the likes and subscribes. I cannot thank you enough. It helps my business. It helps spread this word, spread this light. And I am so grateful. Have a wonderful week. And if you are not on my email list, go to reachyourhappy.com and subscribe. There will be a little pop-up there because I am sending out guidance on Wednesdays and Fridays as well. If you're not getting my emails, check your spam or your promo folder on your email and it should be in there. Alrighty, take good